As a Punjabi or a minority, do you think it's an integral part of like a college experience to join like a Punjabi organizations, or do you think it's like?
I think it is. Maybe you don't have to be as involved with it, but I think it's really important.
Why?
Just because, like, staying connected to your identity and your roots. Because I feel like the more you're around it, the more you'll be involved in it and remember everything that your parents did and all that.
For me, I'll speak about for me. First, it was integral because of what I was missing at first. Because it was all gain. But for an average minority, it just depends on the person. It definitely helps, that you get these are good people, anyways. Hopefully, right? That the group you're joining, that just on that base, but then you obviously connect on the deeper levels, with issues at home, issues religiously, whatever relationships, like these people sort of get it more. But I don't think you have to have it. You can find, because before, I had, friends of not my race or ethnicity or anything, and I was still, happy, thriving, whatever. But it helps. But you can definitely find other ways to go about it, because a couple months ago I was in the bathroom actually not in the bathroom. It was at at like a wedding, not a reception, like a Lodi thing, and my mama and I were like washing hands right next to each other, and he was just asking about college, whatever, and like he was always pushing, go out, like branch out to my mom. He's always like, dude, his son went to like Syracuse in New York, and then every time he sees my mom, he's always like, you literally kept him like in your like cradle, like you didn't let him go anywhere. And he was someone who wanted to expand and have a wide reach. He wanted, because it's an experience thing too. And that's the big thing about college. College is about the experience. College, you can get education in a lot of places. You can take online courses. You can, go home, like go to commute, go back home. But it's about the experience. That's what I could have graduated, earlier. But I didn't feel like I had the experience that I wanted. Yeah. And everyone, like, this is a part of my experience, but you can definitely have a good experience without your cultural club. Yeah. It just can be for the people who are lacking it, it's big. Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you just need somebody who understands you, who understands your culture. Like, other cultures cannot replicate what you have grown up with. Yeah.
I guess it's a personal preference. Yeah. I mean, if you want to stay connected with your roots, if you want to learn more about your roots, definitely go for it. Because that was my biggest thing. I was like, I want to stay connected. I want to learn more. Yeah. Some of my friends and I were talking yesterday, actually, and they're her words, not mine, so I'll give her credit too. But she basically said that a lot of the times your first year, you kind of stray off and you want to do your own thing. But then your second year, you just come back to where you belong. And I've noticed that a lot this year as well. There are a lot of new faces in SSA or in VIPSHE that weren't there last year, and anytime I talk to them, they're like, oh, I realized that at the end of the day you kind of just really have your own. Yeah. Sometimes your own bring you down too, but I mean, it's definitely good to rely on them.
I don't think it was a priority, like I said. I mean, although I did feel like it was like something that I knew I wanted to do when coming in, I don't think me being a Punjabi minority was like something that like was important that I had to be part of. Like I said, I knew that when I came in, I wanted to venture out, but the Punjabi community was always home to me in a sense, and so I just felt like in that sense it was something that I ventured out into, like the Punjabi community. Otherwise, I didn't think it was like something that I had to do.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun there. So good memories from college that I'm gonna remember from this club. So yeah, it was.
You want to elaborate, like maybe why?
Yeah, because I just met a lot of cool people in all the events, and it's just people similar to the ones back home, and people that I'll probably form long-lasting friendships with even after I graduate.
Of course, because being in a minority, especially from where I come from, it's like we are the minority there. Yeah. And coming here, I just feel like more free, like. I belong with these people, like these are my people, and you don't get that until you go out. And we've noticed, like, there's people on campus, like, I'm not calling them out, but like they don't want to be a part of the community, and like for their own reasons. But I think you should definitely give it a try. Yeah. Like, obviously some are not gonna vibe with it, that's different, but you shouldn't like not come out. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if it's like important.
Yeah, is it integral, you think? As a minority.
As a minority, I think it really just depends like where you come from. If you do already have like that support system of like where you come from back home, I don't know if it is not necessary to have it. I think there's so many people I know that are minorities and they don't join a minority like club their entire 4 years and they're fine. But I do think like you do miss out. There's something, like I mentioned before, something like very special about sharing like a friendship or whatever, or bond with somebody that comes from the same background that isn't your family. So I feel like it was important. I'd say it was really important the way that I like developed as a person too.
I want to say like the viewpoint that I'm thinking of is like we don't always understand all the disadvantages we have growing up. Like even I love our culture, from many viewpoints and a lot of different angles. I'm missing a word here, but even our culture puts us behind because of a lot of the things that we value are actually bad for us. Like for example, our मम्मियाँ हमेशा कहती हैं बहुत आने कर दे गपेंगे आने कर लेंगे ये वो, and that builds a certain psychological terms, like it builds a shadow, right? And you kind of project that onto other people and onto yourself, where like you're scared to do things. Like if we look at like entrepreneurs or something like that, there's a lot of risk involved. You're risking your money and things like that. And honestly, like I feel like our people and I'm like afraid of doing that, because what if you fail? You can't exactly be like, hey mom and dad, I fucked up, I messed up, सारे पैसे चले गए, कोई पैसे हैं नहीं, and stuff like that. Like I can't imagine telling my parents that. I can't imagine telling them I failed. So like you have this like the immigrant mentality of like, yeah, we gotta succeed, we gotta do well, but that puts a weight on your shoulders. Like if any time you fail, it's like failure isn't acceptable. And if one thing I've learned, like trying to watching Steve Jobs or whoever and the other successful people are, like the guy who started Dyson, I think he had like 5,300 times he failed to make a prototype, and after that he made the first bagless vacuum. So it's like there's a lot of failure, but I feel like our community is like very accepting of that, or at least in our ideas, like in our heads, the psychological schema we have of our community is like it's not very accepting of failure.
So you think that like helps relate, like being part of the community is like...
I think being part of the community helps you understand what your community is, where we stand, and the areas that need improvement. But I think the one problem I've noticed is that we're kind of focusing on a lot of the bad stuff, like we talked about your podcast, all the topics, like except the ones where you're highlighting creatives and things like that. We focus on like, hey, this is what's wrong with the community. This is the way our parents grew us up, or this is the way they're doing things badly. These are the disadvantages we have, and we kind of forget to discuss the things that are great about our community. Like I feel like we enjoy those things with each other when we're hanging out or something like that, but we don't discuss those.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily important. I wouldn't say it's for everyone for sure, but I think it does help a lot of people. I think a lot of individuals come into college feeling lost or feeling like they don't have anyone to connect with, and just going into someone that understands your family and your values and has the same goals as you, that always helps. So I wouldn't say that everyone needs it, but it's definitely a great option to have.
Yeah, I mean, besides expanding my social circle, like I said, it really helped me. It helped me find myself, get in touch with my roots, as I've said before. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, in high school, like I didn't know anybody, and then like straight right off the bat, I remember going into the involvement fair and I was like, okay, I need to find the booth because I know there is somebody, like there is a club here for us. And then like I was really excited to join it until like I had like that interaction where it like sucked.
Yeah.
But if it didn't suck, I think I would have stayed with it that whole year, maybe continued on later on, because I know some people fall out, but I think I would have stayed that whole year if I had a good interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely was an integral part. Like I said, just being around different people who share similar values, like, strengthens my bond, like, with them, and, like, makes me believe in myself more. So, yeah.
I don't think
that like it was necessary for me to, but it's just something that I really wanted to. But I'm sure that if I did it, I would have definitely made different memories and like relationships, and I think I would have enjoyed them just as much, but I would have missed out on this part.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it would. It helped shape like where I wanted.
Yeah.
Like it helped shape where I see my future now.
Okay.
So I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shaped it.
Definitely not. I think you can get your social experiences, maybe not your religious experiences though, I would say.
Yeah.
That connection to Sikh Key is something else that is unique to the Sikh organizations here on campus. But I definitely think it is helpful to be surrounded by your own or that group that makes you feel comfortable and wanted, and it's just like another inclusive space. So not integral per se, but I would say it's important.
Okay.
I think so. I feel like it's good. Like you always feel at home the most, like with like as like I don't know. This always sounds so messed up, but like you feel the most at home with people who are the most like you. And like even now, like in my household is all like Punjabi girls, and like that felt so homely. Like it felt like I wasn't going to like another apartment. It felt like I was just going back home. Type of thing.